Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by the track president at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Of course, that is Craig Rust. Craig, how are you? I know you're coming off a pretty successful few weeks, with the speed weekend with F4 and Trans Am, as well as, of course, last week's IndyCar race.
Yeah, no, we're doing great. We're doing great. It is a long stretch, but weekends have been going very well. It's always great to host SVRA and Trans Am and that group, F4, FR. So that weekend went really well. We're coming right off of our IndyCar race. That was, I thought, a great event. Weather held out for us. We dodged a bullet, and we got everything in on time. The crowd for the IndyCar race was exceptional. They continue to come out. Honda continues to support that, and the associates come out. So we probably had about, 10,000 Honda associates out there. We do a big deal with the plane out in Marysville. So that went really well. And now we turn our focus to, the O'Reilly 150 Craftsman Truck Series and ARCA. And we're looking forward to it.
Of course, also the USF Junior Series will also be there as well.
Yep.
So, just having those three series. Of course, the last year was the first year that the trucks were there after Xfinity was there for so long. But what has it been like to just have last year's truck race? It played out so well, with the battle between Zane and Parker Kligerman and all that. But what's it like to just to have the trucks back here again this weekend?
It's great. It's great. We love having them. As you pointed out, last year they put on a great show, and that's something I've always said. I said if the series, whoever it is, can come out and put on a good product and a good show for the fans, they'll continue to return. And we got great feedback from everybody. They loved seeing the trucks out there. They're competitive. They get around that place. They can beat and bang a little bit, unlike IndyCar and stuff like that. But it's a good product, and it's nice to be able to showcase the younger drivers, some of these guys that they want to get up to Xfinity, they want to get up to the Cup level. Being a road course guy for most of my career, I love the fact that NASCAR is I shouldn't say finally, but embracing road course racing, and these guys are, you're starting to see more NASCAR drivers run in IMSA events, run on road courses, do some of these things like they did back in the day. And I think that's great.
Yeah. Of course, your background from when you were at Watkins Glen all those years. But, going into this race, and it kind of goes back to those road racing backgrounds. A lot of drivers are going to be in this, including someone that just got announced today. Marco Andretti is coming, obviously has a ton of experience at Mid-Ohio. From racing IndyCar all those years. But what's it going to be like to have him there making his Craftsman Truck Series debut?
We couldn't be more excited to have him there. Just able to have an Andretti in the field, first of all, is fantastic. But Marco has a lot of experience at Mid-Ohio. He is as competitive as they get. So to see him in a truck and just to see how he's going to handle that, we're looking forward to it. I just found that out today, so we're getting our PR machine cranking and make sure that the fans, especially around the Central Ohio area, know that he's going to be there because he's got a lot of fans from his IndyCar days. So looking forward to having him there.
And Connor Daly's back. He did come back after, of course, he filled in for Simon Pagenaud after his crash in practice. But what's it like to have Daly back?
Again, you and I were talking off air a little bit, but anytime you can get guys from different series with experience at road racing and IndyCar, which, we're obviously known for our IndyCar event, it just makes the event that much better, that much more competitive. These young truck drivers, they're looking at these names and they're saying, I want to make sure I beat him. I want to beat the guys that supposedly are for lack of a better word, I'm going to use a word from my past, but these road course ringers that come in and race. And I think it's going to make for a great event.
Yeah, one just won this past weekend with Shane Van Gisbergen. So
Exactly.
but also talking about just the the facility at at Mid Ohio, obviously one of the best out in the country and all that. But what has it been like, just to see the positive response that you guys have been getting all these years, and to have NASCAR and IndyCar and IMSA at a time or another. But what's it like to have all these series come out there and race?
Well, I think that's one of the things we're known for. Again, I think Mid Ohio lends itself to all these forms of racing: sports car, NASCAR, IndyCar, amateur racing. Um, the track lends itself very well to that. We've got a great history. The drivers enjoy driving it. Even off season, you'll hear comments about when they start talking about tracks, and Mid Ohio's name always pops up, and that's a positive thing. So we're very proud of that. Um, we've done some facility improvements this past year. Um, Little things with paddock restroom made him, we renovated that, which has been on the list for years for drivers and team personnel. We took down the old wooden grandstands, and you'll see there's a bright, clean aluminum grandstand sitting out there that was very well received for the IndyCar race. We did a test pave in turn one, just to, as we're thinking forward of when we do pull the trigger on a repave, but just NASCAR engineers helped us out with that, so we got a lot of input on that to make sure we do it right. So things are moving in the right direction for the place. The prior years, our owners are very focused on the track safety aspect. So there were a lot of things that the fans wouldn't necessarily appreciate or notice, but fencing and moving of rail, we pushed rail back. We removed the bridge on the back side of the north side of the track there, and we're able to push that barrier back. And that's all, again, it's mundane to the fans, but the series noticed that the place has become safer. We're putting money into it each year, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and of course that was the test of this weekend with Pagano's crash and all that. So, so going into what the fans can do this weekend, I know what are some of the things that fans need to check out as Mid Ohio. I know that there's an autograph session, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, we have an autograph session, and obviously with the drivers we just talked about, that might get spiced up a little bit. But this weekend, we're coming off the 4th of July. A lot of people have basically taken this week off anyway. So, kind of ends a long week of celebrating Independence Day, the 4th of July. And we're a great camping facility. As we said, ARCA is coming out Friday night, and that's a late start, 5:30. So, people can really enjoy the day on Friday, do their cookouts like they do, and have a good time, and then cap the day with a great race. So I think that's a lot of fun. It's only a 2-day show. At some point, we're hoping to extend it to make it a 3-day show. That's not going to happen in 2024. I'm not trying to tease anything, but it's a great weekend for those fans in the Midwest who have hung around here and didn't travel and stuff, to say, hey, let's go out and get some stock car and truck racing. And to your point with USF, we throw a little open wheel in there for them. So maybe try to get them interested in open wheel a little bit, and maybe try IndyCar for one time.
So USF juniors will be there bright and early on Friday morning. They start practice, of course. Also, some of the details. What time are things happening and all that?
As I said, the green flag for ARCA is 5:30 on Friday. We're a 1:30 start on Saturday for the Craftsman Truck Series. Sprinkled in there, USF Juniors, they have 2 races, so they're going to qualify and race on Saturday, and then I think it's 9 o'clock on Friday, and then on Saturday they're going to re-qualify and have a second race. So they're running 2 races. Their paddock will be open, but ARCA and Craftsman Truck will be shut down per NASCAR regulations, which is normal. But that and just come on out. It'll be a fun weekend. It'll be a little bit more relaxed. We do rent golf carts on site, and I just encourage the fans who have not been there. It's a very easy track to get around to. So from the keyhole to the carousel to the S's, to getting yourself back into the infield, to the entrance of Thunder Valley. There's a lot of good viewing places around the track. So I would tell fans to make sure they check that out.
That's good. All right. Craig Rust, the track president at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Casey, thanks for having me.